Hi again, everyone. So today we're gonna follow through from wherever is left from the previous video. So we're gonna cover up a couple of examples. So let's get started with four. So we have to find the value of 81 to the power of 1 over 4. Okay, so 81 to the power of 1 over 4. 81 can be written as 3 to the power of 4. Why? Because 9 times 9 is 81, and each of those 9s is 3 to the power of 2. So, and then to the power of 1 over 4. So, using the laws of indices, we know that is 4 times 1 over 4 times 4, so it becomes 3. Okay, so for part B, we've got to simplify this expression, which I'm going to write over here. X to the power of minus 1 over 3 to the power of 4. So I'm going to leave x on its own, and then I'll focus on this one. So 2 to the power of 4 times x to the power of minus 1 over 3. As you can see, I've distributed the power onto 2 and x to the power of minus 1 over 3 because it's a product in between a bracket, okay? 2 to the power of 4 is 16, and I'm going to write my x over there, and my other x minus 1 over 3 times 4 is minus 4 over 3. Okay, so 16. So joining these powers together, because they share the same base x, I can add the powers together and it becomes 1 minus 4 over 3, which is simply 16x minus 1 over 3. I'm just simplifying here, and in this case I can do I can move this one to the bottom. From the previous video, we've said that we can write anything in this form. A to the power of minus m can be written as 1 over a to the power of m, and vice versa. Even if it's positive, when it goes down, it becomes negative. Okay, in this case, I'm moving x1 to the power of minus 1 over 3 to the denominator, so it's going to change sign and it becomes like this. And one further step to simplify, this becomes the cubic root of x. And yeah, so we're done with part B of question 4. Let's move on to question 5, where we're given y in terms of x, 1 over 8 x to the power of 3, and we have to express each of the following in this form over here, where k and n are constants. So first of all, I'm going to replace my y with 1 over 8 x to the power of 3, and I'm going to simply write that power that they've given us. Okay, so we know that 8 can be rewritten as 2 to the power of 3, right? And x to the power of 3 here would be like this. So this is the same thing as saying this is the cubic root of 1 over 2 to the power of 3 times x to the power of 3, okay? Can you see it? So I'm just switching from this form to this form over there, and the cubic root will cancel out any of those powers. So we're gonna be left with 1 over 2 x, which we can rewrite as x over 2. Okay, so in this case, my x is my power n is 1, and my k is 1 over 2. So indeed, we've written it as required into the given form. So let's move on to the second one, 1 over 2 y to the power of minus 2. So I'm gonna substitute the y first, and then we can start computing and simplifying. So we have 1 over 2 is written here. 1 over 8 to the power of minus 2. So I'm going to distribute the power onto both of them, and this one is going to be x to the power of 3 to the power of minus 2. Okay, so 1 over 2 times So the power here, 1 over 8 to the power of minus 2. So it's the same thing as saying 1 to the power of minus 2 over 8 to the power of minus 2. So, and because 1 raised to any power, it stays 1, it only applies to this one, okay? Only do this. And this one, x 3 times minus 2, okay? It becomes x to the power of minus 6. So here, I'm going to apply this rule over here. So when we move in up, it changes the sign, okay? So 8 over 2. A squared over 2. The minus 2 becomes 2, okay? When we go from the denominator to the numerator, it changes signs and vice versa, okay? And x to the power minus 6 is just a simplification of this one. So 8 squared is 64 over 2, x to the power of minus 6, which is 32, x to the power of minus 6 indeed. We've written it in the form, the given form, where k is 32 and the power n is minus 6. So we've got one more question today, which is solving this equation. There's so many different ways to do it. I mean, if it leads you to the final answer, then it's right. So yeah, let's just get started, okay? So I'm gonna write it here. And what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna multiply the denominator by this one, okay? So it's gonna be equal to 1. Okay, I'm gonna multiply both sides by x. So x over x is 1, and x appears on the left-hand side. So, and then I'm gonna move the 27. So I'm gonna divide by 27 on both sides. So it's gonna be 1 over 27, and 27 is gonna disappear from the left-hand side, and we're gonna end up with x times root of x, okay? So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna use the law of indices so I can simplify, this expression. So root of x is simply 1 over 2, right? 1 over 27, and then adding those powers together because it's a product and they have the same base. 1 plus 1 over 2, it's 3 over 2, right? And I'm gonna have 1 over 27. So 27 can be rewritten as a power, and it's a 3 to the power of 3, okay? 9 times 3 is 27. 9 is the 3 squared, so it's 3 to the power of 3, as you can see. Okay, so I can write this whole thing over here to the power of 3 because 1 to the power of 3 is the same thing as 1, so I'm allowed to do this. And this is 3 to the power of 2. Okay, so how can I get rid of how can I get rid of these powers in order to remain with x only? So what is something I'll multiply by 3 over 2 and it will give me 1. Okay, what is this thing? So multiplying by 2 over 3, it will give us indeed 1. So, and the reason why I'm thinking this way, because I want to raise everything on the left-hand side and the right-hand side to the power of 2 over 3, okay? And you know from the previous videos when we covered the law of indices, okay? When you have this type of bracket, it can be simplified to 2 over 3, okay? And this one is going to be 1 over 3 to the power of 2, okay? So this one simply simplifies to 1. So we're going to have x, which we are looking for, because when we say solve, we are actually looking for a value of x. So now we've gotten to the stage where we just simply have to simplify this one. 1 to the power of 2 is 1, 1, and then 3 to the power of 2 is 9. And this marks the end of the lesson for today. I hope you all enjoyed it. And I shall see you next time. Bye.